Okay, so hello everybody.
How's it going?
And I'm here. I'm excited today. I am with Mr. Stickermania. Okay, his name is Frank, and a special guest, which you guys never get to see. Okay, Travis. He's the guy behind the camera. It's like in my videos, usually Joe is behind the camera. All right, even though it's Joe's channel. But Joe's always behind the camera. Here we got Travis and we got Frank. Now,
Yes.
This is a Beatle taping. Okay, it's about the Beatles. Frank, I know, does other stuff. He got the Zeppelin and all kinds of cool rock and roll stuff, which I'm into. Okay, Mikey's into that. But this is all about Beatles stuff. Now, the thing is that I got to ask you some questions because this isn't like just like show and tell Beatles stuff and selling some stuff on eBay and talk. We try and make this an entertaining type of event, okay? So that people, they don't want to like zoom out after 10 minutes and disappear. So, Frank, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, why did you come up with the name Mr. Stickermania? Like, what is that all about?
Mr. Stickermania. That's because in the 70s and 80s, I collected all rock albums that had hype stickers on it.
Ah, okay. Now maybe some people knew that because you have your following, but I didn't know that. So I noticed when you show your stuff, yeah, the album has that hype sticker, which is
the rolling. Yeah, the rolling. You know, I collected all the albums I could find with the hype stickers.
Yup. Yeah, awesome, man. I love it. All right, I love it. I know, like on the White Album, you got the hype sticker listing all the songs.
The orange.
The Hey Jude has that sticker on it, you know. But that's awesome, man. And
I saw the small Hey Jude sticker, including Hey Jude and their greatest hits, sold for $1,200.
Yeah, crazy. So, Frank, how did you get into the Beatles?
And one other thing, the Stickermania is a takeoff of hype stickers and Beatlemania combined.
Ah, cool, man. I like it. It. Well, by the way, everybody, I've bought stuff from Frank over the years.
Thanks
I
a lot.
didn't even know Frank Stickermania really until a few months ago. So I have right here the last thing I bought from Frank, right?
Yes.
Was the display item. The great thing about Frank, and when I say bought from him, he's on eBay. Okay, he's got a store on eBay with probably thousands of items, and I don't know where his source is. He's not going to tell me. He's not going to tell you, but he comes up with some great Beatle items, and I want to buy. Some of them I can't afford. Some of them, if he came up with a few of them, like there's a few things. If you ever came up, I told you in the email, if you got Rice Krispies, I got to buy that, man.
Is that the one to do with the patches?
What do you got?
Is the Rice Krispies to do with this?
Yes. On the back of the Rice Krispies is the
in for you.
You don't have the Rice Krispies, do you?
No.
Okay. So there's a Rice Krispies that came out where they advertise, fill out this form and send away for the patch you showed. Okay. I once had an opportunity to buy that box unopened on eBay. It was a buy it now, and I blew it. The guy wanted $5,000 for it.
Wow.
Okay.
I was estimating 1,000 to 2,000.
Nah. Listen, it's a very, look, if you get a crappy box that's empty and it's like old dilapidated, you're still going to pay a couple of grand because that's an unusual item. But this was like unopened, perfect. Anyway, listen, this is not about me. This is about Frank. And I'm a little hyper today. You could tell, guys. I just had my arugula breakfast. I had a little too much coffee. Now, what we have here is we have his son with him, right? Are you into the Beatles too, or not really?
I've seen Paul live as a kid, we used to have to identify who was singing each song. Like, that's how much he was a Beatles fan. Like, so he pushed us into it. I love the Stones. Like, I saw Voodoo Lounge at concert, and like, so he's always promoted Beach Boys, the Monkees.
I had the 16mm films of their movies in the 70s when you couldn't. That was the only format.
Yeah, so we've seen all the movies growing up. So I watched all the Beatles cartoons growing up. I remember them, all the little cartoons they had growing, because he had them all on cassette or beta. He had the old beta tapes a lot of times.
Right.
So
cool, man.
it's just one of the things that you grow up nature. It's just the Beatles are part of our life. We know the songs. I have the satellite radio, the Beatles stations always on. So you always hear something good, something different.
When Frank, when did you get into the Beatles? How old were you?
I was 10, February 9th, 1964, when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan.
So you actually saw them the night they were first on Ed Sullivan?
My mom made sure I watched it, yes.
Oh, yeah? She told you about it?
She just made sure I was sitting down and watched. She knew it was something big was happening, I guess. And
All right. So that got you hooked. By the way, you probably know a lot of musicians, they were going to be like in baseball player or football player on February 9th. They said, forget that. I'm getting the chicks and I'm playing the guitar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They changed their entire life.
It was like something came from planet Mars or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so different.
Now, what was the first record you got, if you remember?
First record I got was World Without Love by Peter and Gordon.
Ah, okay.
The single.
Yep. So it was the song written by John and Paul, probably Paul.
Yeah.
But John gets the credit for it. And for some of you guys know, remember, we have people that watch this, they don't know a lot about the Beatles. So Peter Asher was the brother of Jane Asher. Jane Asher was the girlfriend of Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney was living in the house. In the next room was Peter Asher. Peter Asher comes in and says, man, can you give me a song, that maybe you don't want, that I could use? And Paul gave him this song, and sure enough, it becomes a hit, right?
#1.
Yep. And it's a good song.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was when your first record. When did you start collecting?
When I graduated from high school. So it's like about 1973 is when it hit me hard, and everybody was getting rid of their collections. There were ads everywhere in the newspapers and Craigslist, and so I just started amassing a ton of items. This is a 1976 newspaper. It shows me sitting there.
Well, you got to move it over a little. Let me see.
Sitting there with all the collection.
Oh, that's you? That's you, man.
I had hair.
Yeah. Well, not that, but all the collectibles that are there.
That's my first butcher cover that I'm holding on to.
Oh, I'm going to get into that next. But I want to ask you something. Here, you can put that down for a minute. Here's what I want to see. Frank, where is all those collectibles? Did you save anything or you sold it all?
I sold them all and then bought them 5 times again.
Yeah. I have a similar story, man. When I got out of, I guess you call it college, and I wanted to become somewhat like normal, right? And I was broke. I sold my stuff, okay, to get a deposit on a house.
Right.
Okay. The minute I sold it, I regretted it. And I started buying everything back. Of course, there's things I had I can never get back. Okay. I've never seen them again. I tell people about things that they tell me that it doesn't even exist. There was an Armel ice cream company that had Dixie cups. You know what a Dixie cup is?
Yeah.
And the lid. Yeah. And you got it at school. At the time, it was like 5 cents for a little ice cream or milk. The lunch was 30 cents or 25 cents.
Right.
They gave away these Dixie cups with the lunch. On the cover was the Beatles. I had one of those. Okay. I had all the 6-sheet posters from the movies. Anyway, the bottom line is I don't have a lot of these things anymore. All right.
You got quite a lot. They're right behind you.
Oh, I have a lot, but and a lot of it I bought from you. But look, do you regret selling these things, or you really don't care?
There's a couple items I regret, but as I sell something really expensive, it gives me the avenue to buy something else.
Yeah. Frank, when did you do your first butcher cover? Steam your first butcher cover off?
Right a year after high school, graduating high school, 1973.
Yeah. So you perfected the art of giving everybody a butcher album out there in this world.
200 I've filled.
Wow. Frank, have you ever really screwed one up bad where you destroyed it?
West Coast, yes. With the strong glue.
Oh, really? It's a different glue?
Yeah, it's a water-based glue on the East Coast in Stratton, Pennsylvania, where Los Angeles has the alcohol-based glue that's really strong.
So you know, like kooky stuff like this, man. Now, Frank, do you happen to have any butches on you where you could show people what a first state, a second state, a third state is?
Yeah, my first state sold for 17. I don't have that anymore.
All right, so let's tell people what a first state is. Maybe you can give them a little history. Remember, there are people out there that don't know. Now, when the album was first released, it came with this cover. All right?
And zoom in on
Right,
these.
move it over to this way. Right.
Yeah.
It came with this cover, and it was considered not in good taste. So the Beatles, the record company, was told to place another cover and replace the cover. So the first state is where you get the album, where the new cover, which you see on my left, which the trunk cover, that cover was pasted over the original album and then redistributed by Capitol Records. But what you have to understand is when we say first state, that's getting the album before the cover was ever repasted over. All right? It's like original condition. Then what happens is the second state is where the paste over that you see there with the butcher, with the trunk, it gets removed by somebody. No, that's second state now, right?
Yes.
Because underneath it, can you show them where they can see the album underneath, the cover underneath? Is that the V you're going to show them?
Yes.
It's hard to see on this video. Right. There's a little V there. I'm going to get your mind for a minute. I'm going to get up for a second. I just want to show you my second state. All right. Mine is easier to see on this one. Do you see how on the side of mine?
Yeah.
It's coming through. They put the cover on so crappy that the second state shows you the cover underneath. And you've probably seen a lot of these, Frank, right?
Yes, that must be the West Coast did that more. Does that have a number 6 on the back?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a 6 there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming in clear, but the 6 is there.
Los Angeles.
So 6 means Los Angeles.
Yes.
So we're getting into the weeds. Some people are not going to care about this, but we want to educate some people because not everybody are expert like you and me. So what happens is second state is where the cover was put on and underneath. And by the way, everybody, there are a lot of Yesterday and Today albums that don't have the original cover underneath it. That's what makes it valuable. All right. Because, you know, there's only a certain amount with the original covers. How many do you estimate were made?
50,000. I mean, they made 750,000 and then they destroyed 700,000 of them.
Ah, so there's only like 50,000 good ones. They actually destroyed them.
Yeah, and they trimmed them by 3/16 of an inch, right. So for inventory purposes.
And I just want to show everybody one more thing, okay? Just to refresh their memory. All right. So in my first video, I explained to people that I consider the original paste over, the first Beatle paste over, the Meet the Beatles.
I've had that a couple times, 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
You have Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians underneath.
That's right. Is that the only cover they did it for?
No, you can find them with the Beach Boys underneath.
Oh,
there.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, this has got no number on the back.
Yeah, they don't have numbers, so that wasn't Scranton.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and some people think it's not real. No, that's 100% real. That was done, right, Frank?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I see a Meet the Beatles with no number on there on eBay, I start searching to see if I can see glue lines along the edges, because then I know it's a paste over.
Right. So, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. So you can actually figure it out by the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so show them now the third state. The third state is where you've taken it off. And
I removed the trunk slit. This sold yesterday for $1,800.
Yep. And you do a great job, man. So there's the cover that he took off of this album, right? And Frank is the expert. Like eventually I'm going to get a Butcher album. I don't have one right now. All I have is the one, you know, second state. I don't really do the records other than getting a few, Frank, because record collecting is like a whole nother like black hole. Okay.
It's a big hole.
Yeah. You know, like you got to break out big bucks for the good ones, and it never ends. You know, as it is, it's hard enough collecting all this Beatles stuff. But I realize, and I tell everybody this in my episodes, I'm never going to be like the best Beatle collector. This is a community. Frank, you're part of the community.
Yeah.
This is all about having fun, right? Sharing the love of the Beatles, right?
Passing on the content while we can.
Yeah, exactly. Because you and I are about the same age.
Yeah.
I've told people my age. I'm not going to say it anymore. Okay. Because I don't want people to think I'm like, I'm out of like, you know, I'm close to like hitting the farm. All right.
Yeah. You're 1 year younger than me. So you're young.
You know, yeah. Yeah. And I'm wearing this shirt just so you know, because of the episode. This is not a real one, but it fits me good. All the real.
I've sold a real one of that for 3 times now.
Yeah, I have around 7 real ones. You've seen that also. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem with the real ones, like this is a real one here, right?
Right.
The problem is they don't fit me.
Yeah,
they were made for kids. So
yeah, they gave them away to the people that the kids that skipped school, gave them a bus ride and lunch, and they gave them one of those sweatshirts to go to the airport to greet the Beatles.
Yeah, yeah. But I wear this because it fits me. I bought it. It's a nice reproduction, and you know it's cool. So anyway, so Frank, right now in your possession, like what are the hottest things that you've got? Show us some goodies. Is there anything that you're not selling right now that you have that you think is like the hottest item?
I just got this in
2
days ago.
I saw your short on this, man. I love that. If I didn't have those hangers, I'd be buying it from you. Because having it in the package, you see, everybody, having it in that package is very unusual. They didn't always sell it in the package, you know, but having it as in a sealed package makes that, you know, worth a lot of money. I love it. I love it.
$2,000.
Yeah. That's what it's going to go up on eBay for?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you sold it already?
No, I haven't sold it. People have reached out with emails, but I told them 2,000 is the firm price.
Yeah. So Frank, you have a network of people out there that are looking for you. Like you can't be getting these things all on your own, or people reach out to you now.
Yes. I have people reach out to me every week that's selling me their lifelong collections piece by piece.
Yeah. Well, Frank, I am going to give you my list. There you go, everybody. Awesome. if you want to sell something or have Frank, I guess, Frank, you do it on consignment sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You guys should reach out to Frank.
20% consignment.
Yeah. Frank does an incredible job. You know, first of all, he knows he's only going to sell something.
So that's Mr. _ Stickermania at yahoo.com.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So Frank, I'm going to give you now some of my wish list. Okay. I would hope that you give me like first right of refusal on some of these things, man.
Right. You sound like BJ Records. Yeah.
No. Yeah, right. No. I want that Beatles Rice Krispies. Okay? I really want that, man. I want the perfume. You know the original perfume?
I've had the compact makeup, but I've never had the perfume.
I got the makeup. I got first of all, I got 150 boxes behind me. By the way, you're gonna open up a box today. You know, you got to do the boxing with me. I'm gonna give you a box to open. You're gonna pick it, and I'm gonna open it up. All right. What we're gonna do, what I wanted to tell you was, I want to tell you some more things. I want the shampoo. You know what I mean by the Beatles shampoo, right?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You're not. I got a hairspray original can label, but I don't have a shampoo.
Yeah. There's like certain things that I'm looking for that are hard to find. Like I just recently got that Beatle ice cream box.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wanted that for a long time. You saw that episode, right?
Right.
Man, this thing fell or something.
Yeah. So that I have those. I would like to. I have that. Look, I have the headphones over there. I got the bobbleheads. But what I wanted was, I mean, these are what you have. First of all, is in perfect condition. That lunchbox.
Yeah, it's condition.
Yep. You got great condition items, man. The other thing that I want is, I kind of lost my chain of thought, but you can get me. I'm going to give you that list in an email. All right.
Okay.
Because I know someone like you'll eventually run into it. Like, like the display bobbleheads.
The big ones, the 15-inch. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is, I can't spend $28,000 for it. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I'm not hurting, but I can't spend 28 grand. Okay.
This was $2,000. This is the last of the warehouse find at a Beatles convention in the 80s that Gus and Colleen got a hold of, and this is the last one.
Yeah. I just bought something recently from Gus and Colleen.
They told me to say hi to you.
Yeah, and by the way, I told them I want them on the show too.
Yeah.
They're a little nervous, maybe. I don't know. But they're very sweet. I forgot now what I bought from them. But I did buy something recently. And the reason why I know people is when you buy something from someone on eBay, they usually send you a card, or a little thank you card. And then I let them know that their item is going to be on the show and they should watch it. And when they watched the show and they saw the item, oh, wait a minute, I know what I got from them. The Apple Records box with the dividers.
Yeah.
I bought that from them. That's what I did.
You won't be able to see that. I have an Apple Christmas display up here in the corner.
I see it right up there. All the albums hanging. Yup. Yeah. So
Hook up for a gift. Give the Beatles.
I love it. So you got some things I think that you probably know are coming, right? That you don't have right now.
Yes. Anything
you want to tell us?
I wrote down my most expensive items I sold.
What is that? Tell me.
Come.
Do you want to hear some of the most expensive items I sold?
Sure.
All right. The $25,000, that's my logo on my YouTube channel. You see that Please Please Me record. It's signed on both sides, January 24th, 1963, in Brian Epstein's Liverpool record store when they did an acoustic set on the stairway. and there's only 4 records from that day that exist in the world that were autographed by the Beatles.
Did you take a picture of that? Do you still have a picture of it or anything?
Yeah, I have a whole, if you search my YouTube videos, I have a whole 10-minute video where I show it in detail, but it sold for $25,000.
And I bet you would sell a lot more now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because it's so historical, yes.
Yeah. All right, tell me the next thing you got that you sold.
A $20,000 signed the Beatles fan club card that was had a Frank Casio COA
Right.
from 1963. He says that almost all of them, 99%, were all signed by Neil Aspinall, Mal Evans, or the secretaries. To have one that was signed by the Beatles right on their bodies is almost impossible to find.
Wow.
And then I had a call sheet for a BBC recording From Us to You, and it sold for $17,000 from December 18th, 1963. And then I thought this was pretty cool when I sold this scrapbook with 3 of the Beatles signing it from February 11th, 1964 at the Washington Coliseum before the show.
Right. Awesome.
And the ticket stub was in the scrapbook now, also, and I sold the whole thing for $6,000, but somebody just sold a ticket stub for that for $5,000.
Yeah, that's a ticket stub that you really can't find from the first Beatle concert, you know?
And the girls all had those buttons that say, I love the Beatles, and it was spelled with 2 E's.
Yeah.
That button could be worth close to $900 now.
Now, how do you know if the one that says there's a lot of reproductions of these buttons. How do you know if the button is real? Is there a way to tell?
Yeah, it has to, the aging on the back and the little clip, and then there's some printing on the rim to authenticate it, where it was manufactured.
Yeah. You know the red and white button that that's a very popular one.
Chicago duck. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. The green duck or whatever.
Green duck.
Right. I want you to know I had something that no one ever thought was real, but I don't have it anymore. It's one of the things where I told you I sold.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a 10-inch one of those. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I got it at the 1974, the first Beatle Fest, when it was called Beatle Fest.
Yeah, that was the first one. That's the one where John Lennon had May Pang go to the convention to buy him some collectibles.
Crazy. When you walked into that festival, all right, there was a room. That was the real day when, first of all, I had no money. If I had $200 to spend, that was a lot of money. All right. And I burned through that quickly. But here's what's going to make you crazy. They had unopened real VJ Beatles versus the Four Seasons, Frankie Fields, all originals, $5 each.
The portrait cover?
Yeah. Everything. I bought for $5 unopened Beatles versus the Four Seasons. Now,
I sold one last week for $1,200. It had the poster inside it, but one time I had one that was in the factory strength.
Yeah, crazy. By the way, Colleen and Gus told me a story that and I want to get them on the video, how they came across like a giant box of, the Beatles, the VJ, America, the EP, right? Show everybody what I'm talking about. Yes, they came across a case of those things.
And Perry Cox got a hold of it, and he's been selling it for the last 3 years.
Yeah. No, that's a great record. And are there different versions of the cover as far as whether they're thick or they're thin? Or are they all the same?
They're all the same. They're just placed a little differently because they were slapped on so quick.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the original artwork for those?
No.
Yeah, because those are classic pictures. Those pictures are used on numerous things.
Yes.
of those faces, and the artwork is incredible. Frank, anything you want to ask me? Anything you want to tell me before you know we're going to run out of time?
Perry Cox also had a whole case of Beatle trays that were all in the original wax paper, the way they were packaged. And he had a whole warehouse fine of a case of them.
That's the Worcester or something?
Yes, yeah.
Beatle trays?
Yeah.
And here's the thing I never understand. Once again, I'm getting into the weeds for collectors, but they say that tray was duplicated, okay, and redone.
In the 70s.
Yeah, but to make that tray over again, I mean, that's a big process. It's like, and it looked good.
Yeah, it looked good.
Like, why would someone duplicate that? How much could they make by making those again?
The original said made in England, where the 70s said made in Great Britain.
It's funny. A lot of things say made in Great Britain that are originally opposite.
Yeah.
The Apple dartboard, right?
Right.
I think says England, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then the fake ones say Great Britain or something. But some of the things that are original say Great Britain.
Right.
Also, a lot of times original things say like NEMS 1965, right?
Right.
Like
NEMS
my ice cream box says that. Then fake things say NEMS 65. So
yeah, all the 70s pencil cases and clutch purses, they all say 1964 NEMS, and they're all reproduction.
Right. The ones, so it's funny, the real pencil cases, everybody, don't say NEMS at all.
No.
Right. That's how you know it's real. It doesn't say anything.
No.
Yeah. But look, I love watching your channel, right?
Thanks.
Of course, you do things at 12 o'clock at night.
I have to close the grocery store up first.
Right.
And it's on California time. I have a lot of California.
That's true, yeah. Man. Right. So is there anything else on your list of that you sold that was an expensive item?
Yeah, 2 Sgt. Pepper Nimbus Supercuts. One was sealed I got from Chad Kassem that I sold for $7,000 a piece.
Right.
The 1984 audiophile pressing Nimbus Supercut. The only time they ever did any Beatle albums, they usually did classical. They did Band on the Run and they did Sgt. Pepper. And it's considered the best audiophile pressing ever of stereo of Sgt. Pepper.
Now, when you say, I think you mentioned the word I don't understand. Nimbus, what does that mean?
Nimbus Supercut. It was a special pressing plant in England.
Oh, okay. All right. And that means it sounds better. Is that it?
Yes.
Right.
They got a 30-inch direct copy, 1-to-1 of Sgt. Pepper, and then they did their magic like they did classical pressings, and they made a super audiophile pressing, and there's only 1,000 of them in the world, and they're worth who knows, 7,000 to 10,000 each.
Right. So you still have the record turntable behind you, right?
Yes.
You have the box that you can.
I have a reproduction box.
I know. Do you have it there?
I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay.
But I have the reproduction tags, hand tag, and the instruction sheet. I had an original of this last year, and somebody offered me $500 for both of them because they needed for the record player. I said, it's worth a lot more than that.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned a person that had bought that turntable and then kept the box or something.
Yeah, she had it in a closet for 50 years, and then Joe Hilton got a hold of it, and he sold the box last year for probably over $5,000.
Okay, can you tell people, and including me, like when you say the name Joe Hilton, who is Joe Hilton? He's a famous collector?
Yes, and he reached out to me on my Yahoo page.
Does he still collect, or he just sells?
He's selling me so much at a time, a little at a time.
No, but so he's not really like collecting anymore.
No, but he has a huge collection. He has that he has some Apple memo letters signed by Peter Brown, and I have another one of those coming, and that's pretty rare when Peter Brown actually signs something and says, no, the Beatles will never perform again, or no, or yes, Paul lives at 7 Cavendish Avenue, and so those are pretty cool, I think.
Now, does Joe have the Rice Krispies?
I'll have to ask him.
All right, don't forget.
I got this, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, you just made me realize another thing I want. Okay, you know the Right Cola?
Yeah, this was a 7-Up promotion in Chicago.
Yeah, but it's missing part of the tag.
Yeah, it's missing the where you mailed off.
If you had the bottom part, I'd be buying that. You follow me? Like, because I'm a little extreme collector. Okay.
But the 3 or 4 that when you Google search, nobody seems to have that bottom part anymore.
Right. So the Right Cola, Diet Right Cola, whatever, had a thing around its bottle, a Beatle promotion. All right.
Yeah, Right Cola also promoted the bobbing head dolls where you could send away and get it for $3.
I didn't know that, but I would like the Right Cola with the thing around its neck. I'm thinking of the Beatle Yellow Submarine. Oh, the biggest thing, the plaque box.
Yeah, the plaque box. Yeah.
Now, I'm not making this up, everybody. I'm going to tell you a true story. Okay, Frank, listen to this story, man. Hold on, I'll wait till Frank is available. I got to tell him this one. What are you going to show me now?
I'm going to show you the outside of the packs. This was the first Beatles item made in England memorabilia, the Whitney blanket.
Yeah, cool, man. I have that. There's another blanket.
This came from Joe Hilton.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That zoom's good and bad.
Frank, I want to tell you this story, but I obviously want to share it with other people. So I'm from Long Island, New York. All right. And you'd ride to the deli to get your Beatle cards, right? You know,
right.
They would be on the counter. So one day I'm in the car with my mother, and I was probably 11 years old or whatever, 9, 10 years old. And I say, can you go in and get me some Beatle cards or whatever? She comes back out. The guy doesn't have any more Beatle items. He's done. He's done with the Beatles. The guy comes out. He goes, I have this thing. I'm supposed to return it. It was an entire box of plaque cards.
Wow.
Okay? I said to the guy, what a moron. I never saw it before. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. The guy he never even sold it. He was told he had to return it. And I remember him coming out with that thing. Okay.
Wow.
I had the chance to have an entire box of these plaque cards. Now I didn't open it. In one of these boxes, I have all the plaque cards, the whole collection. But I don't have the box. I don't have the box, and I don't have the unopened plaques. So plaques was a rare card that Topps came out with that was kind of towards the end, and it wasn't selling good. They didn't like the way it looked or something. So the manufacturer of Topps said, send them all back, right? But a certain amount survived. And, I'm looking to pick that up too. So talk to your buddy. Talk to your buddy, man. Okay.
I'll ask Joe about that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, guys. Are you gonna open a box there? Oh, of course. Wait a minute. Frank knows the routine, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. These boxes here, you choose the box.
Let's go with the big one there right there. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You don't want to change your mind?
No.
This is like, Monty Hall here. You sure you want this box?
I know the big box probably won't have the rare thing.
Oh no. I know. You know what? I got this recently, so I kind of know what it is. I like the item, okay? But you could have chosen anything.
I know.
All right. So I'm opening up the box now, everybody. See the box? I'm using my razor blade. You can't see it on the screen because it's close. But I'm going to open this thing up. And not a bad item. Okay, I like it. Let's see what it is. This is what
Careful.
Frank chose. Let's see what we got here. This is the unbox. Oh my God, the guy puts another box in here. Hold on a minute.
Double
There's another
box.
There's
Double
a box
box.
inside a box. Now I gotta open it. Hold on.
You have to double box anymore the way the things get treated rough.
Hold on. All right. So now we're gonna open up this box. Now I got another box. Let's
All
hope
right.
there's not a box inside a box inside a box like
Yeah, let's
the
hope.
like the Russian dolls. Okay, and Frank will probably know this item.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my understanding. This is from like Hong Kong or whatever, right? It's not an official item, but it is from 1966.
All
Okay,
right.
is that accurate, Frank, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, so I learned a lot of things from what's called Beatlebelia, okay,
Yeah.
and other websites, because I'm not, when I would first look at this, I say, yeah, it's like Hong Kong or China, right?
Right.
But it's a pretty cool item. So let me just see what it says on the bottom without breaking it. Made in, I'm blind. Hold on a minute. Hong Kong, made in
All
Hong
right.
Kong, okay? But the thing is, it does say Beatles, okay? And I like the ones that came out in the 90s or early 2000s.
Right.
But this at the time was as close as you're going to get to, unless you made the Revell models, right?
You know what? That's a recreation of what concert, don't you?
No.
February 11th, Washington Coliseum.
Ah, okay. And how do you know that though?
They're all so close together like that. That's the
Uh-huh.
way they were in a boxing arena and they had to turn Ringo's drum set around.
Yeah, that is what's amazing about that concert. That every once in a while they had to turn all their stuff around
Right.
to play to another group.
Yeah.
Right? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Crazy.
Your son, do you want to open a box?
Pick out a box. Which box?
We'll go with that one skinny one on the bottom in the middle.
This?
That one.
Okay.
See what that little one is.
This one.
Yep.
Okay, man. Let's see what it is. And this one I don't know. It could be a dud, man. It could be a dud.
Yeah, it happens.
We'll see. This one's hard to open, I can tell you that. They really taped this one up. I might have to edit the video on this one because these people are going to get bored watching me open this. Oh no, it's another box inside a box.
We're putting you to work today.
You know what? This might not even be a Beatle item.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh no, it's not a Beatle item. Okay. So listen, everybody. What happens is that I collect a lot of nonsense, and I haven't opened the boxes for years, and I don't know what's in the boxes. I want to know though if Frank remembers this. A bopper.
No.
Okay, I'm going to show everybody what a bopaloop is. I bought this because I had it when I was a kid. I probably got this 7 years ago. Okay, but once again, I'm sorry, everybody. It's not a Beatle item, but I want to tell you, it's an original
unique,
toy from the 60s, and it's very hard to play. All right, and I saw it, I bought it. So I know it's not Beatles, but I'm going to show you what it is. First of all, today, it's made out of wood. All right? And it has a string. You got to attach it. So I'm not going to do it now. But you have to toss this thing around like this to make it land on this.
Gotcha.
Okay? It's a toy. So you picked out a dud. Okay? But it could have been a Beetle Bopaloop. But
Yeah.
it's not a Beetle Bopaloop.
Nope.
Okay? But maybe I should call it a Beetle Bopaloop. Anyway, listen. Have you had a good time in this video?
Yeah. Can I close to one more thing?
Sure, you can show them anything you want. And by the way, Stickermania, you want to watch him on YouTube. All right. And he's got a great, if you search for him on, hold on one second, I'm trying to promote you.
All right.
Also on eBay. On eBay, if you want to buy some Beetle items, Frank, you know you could trust Frank. He's got some good things if you want to start collecting Beetles. And if he has some really rare things, he better sell it to me first.
So this is a flyer from Sweden when they toured Sweden in 1963 in October. And they played 3 shows in Gothenburg. I don't know how you say that, on the 27th of October. And they traveled 500 kilometers to get there. So people say the Beatles didn't earn the, you know, they weren't just a flash in the pan. They went through a lot of hard times.
They paid their dues. Move
Yeah.
it closer, Frank, so we can see it a little closer. Keep going.
So
What country is that? What country
October 27th, they played 3 shows. And this is the ticket. Unused ticket from the last show signed by all 4 Beatles.
And what country is that?
Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. And how much you going to put that up for to start?
That's $18,000.
Ay. 18 grand.
It's almost made out of crepe paper, full ticket.
And they
Signed
signed it?
Signed on the front by John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and signed on the back, George Harrison, Ringo Starr,
Wow.
and Ringo signed both sides. In case they tore out the stub, they would at least have his autograph on one of them.
Wow, that's fantastic. Frank, now I know why you wear gloves.
I'm called the White Gloves Man.
Yeah.
There's people that are doing it now, but Andrew from Polygram Auctions wears them every once in a while.
No. You have some incredible things. You have incredible knowledge. I learn from some things all the time when I watch your videos. Like when you said on Beatles for Sale, who's the blurry thumb was, you know?
Yes.
I never even thought about it. You know? So by the way, you should let your son get in front of the camera once in a while.
Right.
Nah, it's all good. This is his show. It's Mr. Stickermania.
Yeah.
I'm just here to help him out.
We're at 1,730 subscribers, and when we get to 2,000, we're going to give away this practice butcher cover I did of a stereo East Coast that had real strong.
But he's got to move the film again. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, you're going to be getting that very soon after I put this up. All right.
When will this be up? Probably by the end of the week.
What? Here's the thing. It's Joe's channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you doing, Joe?
Yeah. So Joe's not here. I'm going to send this to Joe, and now we're in the hands of Joe. Okay.
So
wait a minute. The last thing I've got to tell you.
A couple weeks, I get to meet you and Joe in person.
Yeah. No, I'm going to see you in Chicago. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to hang. We'll do a couple more informal videos. And when I see you in Chicago, I'm giving you a Mikey Arugula shirt.
All right.
And I'm going to give you one for your son too, because I don't sell these shirts. I'm having them made up. The only way you get the shirt, you got to be on the show.
All right. Colleen, you need to be on the show.
That's the only way. I'm not looking to make any money. I'm only looking to spend money. Okay.
Right.
So I only want to have fun. I'm not selling shirts. You want the shirt, you got to be on the show. You both have earned the show. I mean, the shirt. Okay.
All right.
So
Appreciate
listen,
it.
I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. All right. I'm going to turn off the recording and you can stay on for a minute. We'll say goodbye. All right.
Okay.
Everybody,
Have a good night.
hope to see some of you guys at the Fest for Beatle fans in Chicago. And
Hyatt Regency, August 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yup. And if you watch this a few years from now, we still love you. Okay?
Yep.